Hey guys, MTS again here. Thought I'd make part two of the video just made about worldwide anti-war movement and working together as pacifists. As I hope someone out there will like this video. I understand if people don't like it, but I think it's important to share. I try and keep this channel as honest as I can. You're just trying to be honest about my opinions about wars and all that sort of stuff. And I talked about it before. I can't remember if there's any points I didn't cover, but as I said before in the other video about this worldwide anti-war, excuse me, is that I dream that forced conscription worldwide will be ended by the international community, and excuse me, sorry. I dream that the legal age for joining the military will be raised to 18, and that people will be able to leave if they want, or not have to go to a war that they disagree with, and have more choices. And also, if they want to leave, they won't have pressure to stay and things like that, which I've heard happen sort of in the military. And also, I think that covers all. I thought there was another point I was going to make, but my memory at the moment is not that great. But yeah, so I believe that worldwide forced conscription, I think, should be ended. All being well, it would be one of my dreams. Also, as I say, I think you should be able to leave if and when you want. It should be something you do because you want to do it. If you no longer enjoy it, I think you should be able to leave. And also that it should be raised to 18. And if there's wars you disagree with, I think you should be able to leave and things like that. Because I've heard like people, when they want to leave the military, there's a lot of pressure to stay, even if they're not enjoying it, or if people don't want to go to a certain war and they think it's wrong. Because they join the military, they have to still go to that war even if they disagree with it. But so, I think those things should be I think human rights groups should come together and make sure that sort of thing doesn't happen. And I mean, of course, if people want to join, and that's their choice, prerogative, whatever. Controversial view, I know, but dear, I mean, I don't think that people of color should join, because like I look at, like, say for instance, America. America was sort of built for WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and they sort of ran America. And in many ways, they still have the most powerful positions. So I think if you're not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, then I think the military and its history and what it stood for, in my opinion, don't represent people of color or people who are not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, even like possibly even Catholics or other non-Protestant religions. In my opinion, it doesn't really represent those. So I don't understand why anyone who's not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant would want to join, but I understand why they want to join the police or security. I think it'd be better if people of colour would be in the police. I think we can ensure there's more rights. So something I don't believe people of colour should do, especially given what the history of what militarism did to countries like in Asia and Africa and things like that. And also the British or other European militaries also. But and I think it'd be great if we, instead of paying our taxes towards those things, my dream would be that people could choose to give their money more towards what they want to within taxes, within a reason. So, like, say if tax was used for public services, international aid or overseas aid, war, defence or whatever, defence budget, education and healthcare and whatever else, you could only pay your taxes towards those things, but you could choose what percentage of your personal tax would go to each thing. So if you wanted to help more disabled people, you could put more money into that. If you wanted to help more people from overseas, you'd be able to put your tax money into that. So if you're a person of colour, I think, like people who are part Indian, I think should, or part Indian, or anyone who's got any Indian ancestry generally, I think should donate our taxes towards India, partly because it was colonized. If I'm honest, that's one of the reasons why I believe a lot of money was robbed, if I'm honest, by Britain. From what I understand, like people say, in today's money, the resources took out of India would equate to about, I think there's different arguments, some as high as 3 trillion, some even higher. Like even, I think I saw once it was like 26 trillion or something ridiculous like that. But let's say 3 trillion, that's still a heck of a lot of money. Or even if it was 1 trillion, it would be, in today's money, it would still be a heck of a lot of money. So I'd love to see India reparated for that money that they had taken out, which to me would be justice. Although I wouldn't like to see that money go towards helping the poor, like Dalits, the so-called lower castes, or also supporting female entrepreneurs and female empowerment, and also even women writers, women entrepreneurs and things like that, and girls to get good education and all sorts of things like that. So I think we should fund, if I'm honest, I think people of colour, it's a controversial view as I say, but I think people of colour should support more projects like that. A controversial term, perhaps they are our own people, so to speak, but I know not every person of colour would agree with that, of course. In fact, I'd be lucky to find many who do, I imagine. You never know that, but maybe if they see this, maybe they'll think, oh yeah, that does make sense, or maybe this man has got a point. But I know I'd rather give my money, tax money, to like overseas aid and things like that. And personally, I know it's not a popular opinion, but I'd be a liar if I said I would rather give my money towards wars or the weapons trade or the military, especially the military is a popular opinion. If you say you don't want to support weapons trade or wars, then people might agree, but they probably say you should fund the military. And using my rights of freedom of speech, I personally will use that to, if I can, to disagree with that and to advocate what I really think is better. And I mean, I'd invest in things like more like in countries like Iraq, I'd say like create buildings that support education for de-radicalization, in which case you're making the world a safer place anyway. And I know a lot of people say like when people come from the military, they become, a lot of them are become disabled. The ones that survive, a lot become disabled or become homeless or end up in prison, having lots of problems or struggling to get jobs. So, I mean, if I could here in the UK or elsewhere in Europe or in developing countries, I'd still try to help poor people, especially homeless people, support trying to build more homes and disabled people, and people like rehabilitation for prisoners and things like that, so as much as possible. So they get better education, so they don't commit more crimes. But so in a way, I'll support those causes, which would help the poorest people in the country. But I think generally speaking, but I wouldn't support them specifically because they were in the military. But people from the military would benefit from such. I hope I'm making sense. I'm probably waffling a little bit, but I think if you support people like prison reform or education, helping people to turn their lives around, and also because a lot of people who come from the military end up joining gangs or having mental health problems or other such problems, which mean they get in trouble with the law and things like that. And also many of them become physically disabled, many become mentally disabled, and many end up on the street. So if you help those type of people, you will be supporting people who are in the military anyway. It's just that, me personally, I'd rather support, if I'm honest, I'd rather support civilians more. Although I'd like to help everyone as much as possible. But I prioritise people who are the most disadvantaged in a libertarian way. As ever, I'd love to hear your opinions on this video, by the way. And as I keep saying, I know in each video, but yeah, I would love to hear your opinions about what you think. Is what I'm saying making sense? Do you agree with any of the points? Like, do you think that internationally forced conscription should be ended, and that the international community should come against forced conscription? Or whether you agree or not, I'd love to have your opinion. And do you think that the age should be 16, or do you think it should be higher to 18, or even lower? You might even think that. I doubt it. I would think lower, but either way, I'd love to have your opinion. And do you think that, I know I mentioned this in my last video, but just to remind the question, or just in case anyone didn't see my last video, do you think that joining the military is a noble goal? So I know some people might not want to share their opinion either, because it's a controversial topic, so they might not wish to say their honest opinion. I don't know, but if you can share your opinion, I'll really welcome it. and in sport as well. But yeah, so I think that when I talked a lot on Facebook about, or wrote in my strange punctuation about my, some people might call it rants or ramblings or whatever, when I talked about about why I'm like being pacifist, being a conscientious objector, not wanting to pay my tax towards the military, and how I dream like people of colour wouldn't join the military in the West or imperial countries, or people, especially mixed race, I wouldn't want us to join in the militaries or use violence unless in defence of the vulnerable. Because I take things unless in self-defense or more importantly, in defense of the vulnerable. So yeah, like if you join the military, then let's say if the military wants to go to war with a country and you disagree with that war, like the Iraq War or even the Syria War or something like that, then you couldn't really. You would still have to fight in that war, a bit like almost like a gang, really. If that gang goes to fight with people, you have to, even if you think it's even if you don't agree with it, let's say, and if you don't fight in certain wars, you end up going to jail, as far as I'm aware. So I think that that's why I wouldn't personally encourage people to join the military. I think if I did, I know it'd be it would, if I wanted to be popular, or I wanted to basically if I wanted to be popular, have a popular opinion, I think I'd be able to say, I would say, sorry, join. I would encourage people to join the military, but I just don't morally think that's true. And I mean, me personally, I'm a bit too much chicken anyway to join the military or to do any. I'm not the most driven anyway to do all the physical things they have to do either. But although I like walking a lot, I only like last year did I join the gym. Sorry, I only joined the gym last year for want of better grammar. But even if you say other mixed race people, I don't think we should join the military. I think we should do other things instead, like maybe join the police, work on de-radicalization, work on bringing communities together, making the world a more peaceful and better place, I think, in different ways. So I've heard a lot of people, like, as I said, when I wrote that stuff on Facebook, I've been wondering if I finished my point or not, because I think I go on from one to the other. But yeah, when I mentioned those points on Facebook, people said, "Oh, you need a military," or "The military keeps us safe." Even other people of colour said that sort of stuff. Like, and very few people have agreed with my opinion. To be fair, I think only one or two, generally speaking, if I'm not mistaken. But so I tried to express my opinion and express why I think I'm in, and why I think. I don't know if right's the right word, because I don't believe there is necessarily right or wrong, but try to put forward my point of the argument, my point of the of opinion. But as I say, yeah, if you see, I understand people saying, as I talked about in my last video, that we want to keep people safe, especially in transport. We want to keep our families safe. Like I always think, obviously, when my family travels, I want them to be safe. Or to be safe generally if they go to work, if they travel from one city to another, or in general, generally. But I think like security, like with my fear of flying, in a way, although I think it's inconvenient, I like the fact that we have strong security when we travel, like when we go by plane or by train or whatever, that the security is there, especially when we're flying. And maybe even trains can have more security on them, but. So I agree with having security. I agree with having even armed police if necessary, or whatever keeps us safe. But I don't agree that if you go to war with another country and take their resources and damage their economy, that you're going to make things safer. But anyway, as ever, I think I've waffled enough. But as ever, I think that. But I'd love to have your opinion. Sorry if I'm not making much sense at the moment. But yeah, if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching my video, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate any comments, especially positive ones, especially loving comments and any support. And I'd love to hear from people who agree with me, especially, but even people who don't. Hearing from people who don't agree with me would be like, it shows you're not alone in your opinion. And I've seen quite a lot of people make these sort of videos, so I know I'm not alone in my opinion, but I know I'm sure it's a minority opinion. Anyway, I think that covers everything. Peace and love. Good Good night.